This morning was the start of the drawing, and this image is being done with the Spectrum Noir Illustrators and also the graphic pens. There we go. Now, as you can see, this morning managed to get base layer down, and this is a good place to be because it means that now I can add more layers if I want to, but I can still bleach out layers if I want to. So what I'm working on is from one of my own photos. I pretty much 100% of the time will only work from my own photos. This makes great fun hunting reference images, so I get all over the place. And by using my own reference photo, I've not got any legal worries or any of that. And I've given a very rough sketch of the owl. I've not put any detail into the sketch like I would normally with a colour pencil image, because I want the pens to fill in the detail. So as discussed in the first video, there is a difference in nibs. So the Illustrator is a bullet and a brush, and the graphic is a chisel and a longer bullet nib. I've got my very handy colour chart to hand, quite literally. And the good news is I've found one of my missing pens. I found my ivory. And ivory is a really handy colour to have with these pens because you can use it as a blender and you get a hint of colour. It's a really nice subtle colour, one of my favourites. So, onwards. So as you can see, I've got the light neck detail coming in. Hopefully you can see. And so what we're going to do is going to start to carry this part on, and just to start putting in this, there's almost like a triangle just here of the wing, and we'll see how we go. Depends on when the rest of the clan arrive. We're having a small like a Easter party today, so part of the clan is coming around with screaming kiddlywinks and all. I may go and hide. So once again, I won't be able to label every single pen that I use because it's your interpretation to what colours you want to put down on an image. But I'll give you subtle hints and tips where I can. Apologies for any background noise. The chefs are working their hardest to get all the food prepped done. I'm not down there because I only get in the way. But I found out today how to make a sausage roll. You shove it down a hill. As you can see, I'm literally just laying down little blocks of colour. So I'm simplifying the image into just shapes, and then I can come through with the detail later. I will be adding colour pencil on top of this image to refine a lot of the detail, but overall almost like the whole underlayer will be the pens. I'm just going to work on this bit. The other thing with not mapping in everything means that sometimes you do have to work everything out on the go. A little wiggle there. See how far down I can come. This owl was a, I don't want to say domestic, but it wasn't a wild owl as such. It was a falconer's bird, so it's used for active hunting, but not completely tame. This ivory will act eventually as an undercoat for the other markers to go on. Right. That's going to be too dark. Right, I'm just going for my TM1, hopefully. This is probably going to be another short stream. Just in case I get squeaked for. TM1, there we go. Now I'm just using the bullet tip and I'm literally just doing almost like a stippling effect. Just add in a little bit of texture. Okay, I'm going to bring in the MB1, I think. Yeah. Oh, don't want the chisel tip. Right, there we go. And I'm just going to add in a little tiny bit of some of the detail. Because these spotty markings on barn owls are a mixture of greys, there's blues in there, there's reds, there's browns, there's all sorts. And of course there's white spots as well. It's nice just to put like an underbase down. Try and find a GP2 while I'm at it. and just use the linen colour to blend a little bit of that out. I just need an undercoat on this bit, quite a heavy undercoat, because there's quite a lot of dark colours on this piece. And if you make a mistake with these pens, all you need is to use the blender and you just push it back. So nice and easy. You might note where I use a blender, I don't know if it shows up on camera, the paper goes slightly bluish. This is because of this, for some reason this cardstock from Ryman's does have a habit of going blue. It happened when I took image over to my printers, and when he scanned it in, the whole thing came up blue, and he was like, what are you playing at? And it took him a little while to fix. So I've had to promise that I won't send him any more paper like that. And I think I might just sneak this one in somewhere. So this is meant to be caramel, GB2. It's quite a light colour, but it comes out quite dark. So what I'm seeing is on because my reference paper that I've done my colours out on is layout paper, and this is a different cardstock with different texture and thickness. That's why GB2 on my my scrap paper looks really pale, but on here it looks much darker. So you definitely got to stay aware of how your colours will change on different papers. You can start adding in the kind of yellowy colours. I'm thinking TM3. So TM3 is apricot. Though I don't know if I call them apricot. So I'm using the brush nibs just to apply a little bit of colour. Not putting on loads. Just putting little hints, because I'm going to push this back with the blender or with the ivory, whichever I find first. And this will dry a slightly different colour as well. I'm going to be very bold and adding quite a strong colour, which is the B02. And this, I'm going to use the tiny bullet tip to do this, and it's going to only be little hints. Sorry about that, somebody's making a bit of a noise in the bathroom. It's an embarrassing one to hear. Heard that? My apologies. Yeah, sadly this is a very noisy house and we've got very thin walls. So right now this colour probably looks quite harsh, but once it's blended in it should soften up quite a lot. So because I've got that darker patch, I'm thinking of putting it in the EB2. With the Spectrum Spectrum markers, you do get a lot of very, very bright colours, and these are absolutely great if you're doing things like fashion, people, that sort of thing. The nature colours I'd love to see a lot more of, but more subtle hues, because not everything is bright in nature. So if you look at certain plants and certain insects, they're not kind of fluorescent yellows and things like that, and there's much more gentle pastel shades, but even like really, really, really light pastel shades. I'm just going to block in a couple of bits. What I tend to do is, while I'm working bits out, I put them in small areas, and then once I'm comfortable, then I'll block them in properly. So I need something pale and yellowish. FS6. So I'm going to use the IG6 and I think I'll try an IG2, just to add in some grey. I think EB1's going to be a bit too brown. Yeah, a bit too brown. It's funny, on this paper the cream comes out more peachy than actual cream. Now what I'm doing is I'm using the ivy to soften off a lot of those little areas. You see it kind of bleaches it out, and quite fast as well. Now I can come in with some more mid-tones, and that should give me a really, really nice soft side to it. Now there's a couple of areas I'm just going to bleach out more than the other areas. And this is just so that I can make a note of where some of the white spots are. With the colour white, you can quite literally leave your areas completely white. But because the blender is so full, you can even actually just put the blender on in tiny drops, and that will bleach pretty well, to say the least. So now I'm just going to add in tiny little bits of detail. As you can see, there's a lot of kind of going back forward with this. And I'm working more wet onto wet, just so that I can get that blendability. Let's move that pen out of the way. So there's three little sections here that have got a kind of motley grey on them. So I'm going to start off with the, let's see, I have to think about this. I'm going to start doing BP1, which is more of a purple colour. And actually I'm going to be cheeky, I'm going to line it on there. There's a little bit there. This is what I was saying about adding in blues, reds, purples into your image. If you look for those hidden colours, you will find them. It's like a black Labrador. It isn't really black. It's the way our eyes focus and change colour. So in the UK we have a bird called the kingfisher, and it's stunning. It's apparently, when you look at it, this will catch you out, it's an iridescent blue large bird, and it's a member of the kookaburra family. That's your facts for the day. But if our eyes saw, in a sense, the way they're meant to see, the bird would be browns and reds. But it's the way it all kind of is interpreted by the eyes and the brain. In fact, I'm thinking of making that slightly darker on the purpley red side. And RB2 is, I don't know how to describe it, it's a funny colour. It might just do the job. As you can see, it's quite a sharp colour. And just for anybody who's following me, you're all welcome to follow me wherever you want to follow me. So you'll see probably on my page that there's a link to a YouTube site, and a lot of the proper videos like this one from Twitch will be available on YouTube. I don't really do any editing, so what you see in here is what you get. But I mostly use Twitch and other platforms for just doing speed sketching and other work. But anything on more of a professional level like this will go onto YouTube. And my aim basically is to try and help inspire everyone to get out a pen, a pencil and have a go. I mean, I'm not a certified genius at this. I've had to learn through well and truly trial and error, mostly error. But when things go together, they go together really nicely. I can't give people magic colour combinations to use because everyone sees colour differently. And that's part of the discovery and the joy of colouring and drawing, is learning these things and finding your own path. And what I would say though is, don't be discouraged by individual opinions. When I was at school, I was told I was useless at art. All I could do was doodle, and I didn't do very well at my exams. But many years later I picked up a pencil again and started creating, but learning through different ways, trying different ideas, and lo and behold, I've got to a level which I'm much more happy with, and in fact I can now sell my art. I mean, I'm not talking about selling for hundreds of thousands or winning the Tate Award. Ooh, not anybody should really want to win that. I never realised that an unmade bed could win an award. I wake in one of them every morning. I should be a billionaire by now. But I've not been discouraged, even though I've had some harsh criticism. I've been told I'm pretty useless and that I shouldn't do this or things like that. And if you do end up with, I hate to use the word, but if you end up being bullied over your artwork or having a cyber troll, then use it to your advantage. So if a troll kind of has a go at you, like, oh, that's no good, I could do better, you've done that wrong, turn it around and say, okay, I respect your opinion, how would you do it? And get them to show you. Because art's in the eye of the beholder. What one person sees as amazing, another will see as not so amazing. So if you have an opportunity to learn, then take it. And also, if you challenge somebody and say to them, well, if you don't like this, how would you do it? You may show them that they're not as brilliant as they think they are, which will calm them down and give you a little bit more respect. But also you may come away learning something and blimey, okay, that person didn't exactly say that very well, but I've just come away and I've learned something. So yeah, don't ever be discouraged. Also, don't let budget dictate how much you enjoy drawing, painting, or anything. I am very, very tied down to a budget. And sometimes, yeah, I end up buying cheap equipment that I don't enjoy using. I use it to its full potential, I tell you. I've spent money on it, I'm jolly well using it. And it's a good way of learning. If you start off with the low level stuff and then build yourself up. Because if you go and spend out hundreds and hundreds of pounds on a piece of equipment that you don't enjoy using, all it's going to do is sit in the back of the cupboard. And it's a waste of money. So start with what you're most comfortable with. I've lost a feather. Oh, there it is. I know this drawing does seem to take absolutely forever for where I'm getting, but it's because I'm just paying attention to detail and I'm wanting to get it right. And you'll see me completely change areas because I've looked away and then looked back and seen somewhere that I think I can actually fix and make better. Go dark, but not too dark. Right, BO2, let's be bold. I mean, these brush nibs are lovely for making feather-like movements. And then the bullet tips are lovely for just refining bits. Definitely don't want to go too bold with the colours. This whole owl's appearance is soft and fluffy, with very, very sharp talons and a very, very sharp beak. Yeah, owls get caramel. Right, just going to do a quick experiment. Right, this is a different pencil. This is a Luminance by Caran d'Ache. Very, very expensive pencil. It works out a lot more than Polychromos, which are jolly well expensive, which are more expensive than the Prismacolors. Now, Prismacolor wax based, Polychromos oil based, and I can't remember what the luminance are, but these are very nice. I buy mine open stock because I cannot afford how much they are for the tin, and most of the time I only need a black and white because they are so rich. But I just want to see what happens when I put it over the Spectrum Noirs. Now we know the Polychromos works because of the work around the eye, so what will this do? So I'm going to try and put in a little bit of white dashing just along here. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that works. Now I've taken a bit of gamble because the paper is quite bouncy right now due to the amount of alcohol and liquid in there. Yeah, I can use this. This could be very, 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 very handy. So if I get the colours slightly darker, I can put this to quite good use. But this is going to show up better once parts of the image are a little bit darker. I think this now technically becomes a mixed media drawing. Me no. Someone's phone's just gone ka-bing. So that's quite handy. So that's me learning something new today. So I just want some ultra fine detail just on this piece. I'm just bringing the colour pencil to do that for me. And if you've got Polychromos, you will know about that these are a good pencil as long as you keep them sharp. If you didn't know that, then please always keep your pencils sharp. They work so much better when sharpened, and you can get such lovely detail with them. Okay, just change that line slightly. Now I've done it before where I put Spectrum Noirs over pencil and it went fine, no problems there. So I'll probably leave most of the pencil detail in to do that last, but while I'm just testing and experimenting, there'll be the odd bit here and there. Things like where I've got white feathers, say around this point, I can get them in quite nicely. Yeah, that's going to work. That's good. That's a handy thing to know. So, when next? Thing is, I can't lose this test sheet, so I've got to put it somewhere where I can see it, but I can also see my reference drawing. Right, let's try that. Because sadly you can't rely on the nibs on these pens. You do need your paper your colour chart. With all Spectrum Noir markers, please remember to store your markers flat. Don't prop them up or do anything like that. Just store them flat. A little bit of detail in there. Now I'm going to be quite bold and do what's technically a very, very dark piece just down here. So I'm just going to give an undercoat. And this is the FS7's. It just makes such a nice undercoat. Goes up, down, about there it goes in. And then I'm going to try and use the EB4. This time I'm just going to use a bullet nib so that I keep the edges that I need. Now this is where the white pencil is going to come in handy. Because that's quite a bold colour. So I'm going to add the RB2, which isn't going to do much. But it's just going to do what I want it to do. Then I'm just going to use the ivory around this part. So these bits are just mapped in. And then I'm going to bring in the BG4, which as we know from the eye, bleached. Which is what I just want a tiny bit of bleaching in there. And then back to the, let's see, actually let's go for the EB2. Just want to wash there. Now because I had the ivy there and I'm putting colour on top of that, that's pushing the ink outwards. So it's softening up those areas. Now, let's see if this will work. There we go. Yep, that's going to work really nicely. I might have to do another layer, but that's allowing me to get the white feathers over the brown parts. So I'm going to call it quits for now and move on to the next part, which will probably be this up here. I am working in small areas because I want to get this right. And that's the only way sometimes, is to literally go bit by bit by bit, break it into simple chunks. Not to try and do the whole drawing as one massive drawing, because otherwise it'll become too much, too stressful and unenjoyable. I want to take my time and enjoy doing this image. It's the first time I've drawn an owl, so this is a major learning curve for me. And if I make mistakes, I want to be able to go back and learn from them. So I hope this has inspired you to go out, get a pen or a pencil and some paper and get drawing and enjoy it. You'd be amazed at what you can create. And even if you haven't got anything to draw to hand, look around you. As boring as it sounds, drawing a dining room table or even a set of chairs can teach you so much. And never be disheartened. So till next time, take care everybody, all the best and happy drawing to you all.